Jesus.
Oh!
I would have been like, kill me. Just stab me in the neck after that. Decapitate me. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the YouTube channel. My name is Cam. This is Zay, and we are here with the Game of Thrones Season 4 premiere. That's right, Episode 1, Two Swords. I'm excited to get into this one, but before we do, if you guys like what you're watching, please leave a like down below. It would be greatly appreciated. Subscribe to stay tuned for more and help us reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year goal. You can also hit that bell notification button to be notified the next time we upload a new video. And if you want to watch our full-length reaction to this and the next 3 episodes, you can check that out on Patreon. Oh, you know what? Nah. Let's change something. Since it's Season 4, let's give them the next 4 episodes on Patreon. That's right. If you guys want to check us out on Patreon, you can watch a full-length reaction to the next 4 episodes as we move on to Season 4 here. Before we get into it, Zay, what do you remember previously, you know, from the last season, pretty much? Just kind of more towards the end of the season, but what do you remember as we go into this right now?
Yeah, so we had some pretty big events occur, you know. Dany ended up taking, is it the Yokai? Was that was her name? What was her name? The city.
Yunkai.
Yunkai. So basically, you know, Dany freed the slaves of Yunkai, told them, you know, that you're free, freedom's yours, goes to that whole speech. They started calling her Misa, which translates to mother. So it seems like that she has the Yunkai on her side now and has taken that city. Now, what is her next step? Not quite sure. We do know from the history and lore, though, that there were 3 cities that got mentioned. They were in the same area. There was Yunkai, Karth, and then Marina.
They say Yunkai Astapor. And they
Yunkai Astapor
and Marine was the third one.
So does she move to one of those next 2 cities? We don't know.
No, she's already been to Astapor. That's the one where she got.
Yeah. So if she takes the last city, or if she plans on getting the last city, is kind of like my question. That's what I was speculating with once we heard that in the history and lore. With that being said, then with John arrives back at the wall.
Oh, by the way, the history and lore full-length reactions to season 1, 2, and 3 are also on Patreon. You can check those out if you're interested.
John ended up suffering 3 arrow shots from Ygritte. She ended up catching up to him, and she didn't kill him. Now, I question if
it's the first time you got her name right.
Yeah, I was thinking about her name in the car when we had been talking about it, kind of recapping a little bit. Regardless, so then obviously after John got back to the wall, we know that Bran actually ended up running into Sam. They acquired
well not after John got back to the wall,
but I'm saying
Sam was there.
I'm just going in what I remember. Bran actually ran into Sam. He was giving dragon glass, aka obsidian, which we had seen Sam use to kill a White Walker. Sam basically told them that he's seen the White Walkers and guided them towards the north. He didn't really go with them. He more brought them to where they had to start heading.
This is past the wall over here, pretty much.
Tywin and Tyrion put their foot down on Joffrey once again. You can tell they're kind of getting tilted with him a little bit. They're kind of getting, I mean, they already were before, but it's kind of getting more extreme at this point. And let's see. I mean, RIP still Rob. I'll still mention that real quick. Just RIP Rob, because damn, the Red Wedding still traumatizes me to this day. But I'm trying to think, is there anything else that occurred major that we should cover?
Well, we know all the slaves started calling Dany Misa.
Yeah, I said that that was the first one I mentioned.
Zay, how big do you think the dragons are going to be now?
Oh, they will be. What size were they last time? Like a house, like a dog, like a small dog, medium-sized dog?
No, more like a Great Danish type size.
Great Danish. Maybe like a horse. That'd be pretty cool.
You think they'll be rideable at this point?
Not quite rideable. Maybe small child rideable, like a pony.
Okay, we'll see. I did want to bring up to you guys. We did see Arya get her first kill on a grown male. I did want to bring it up to you guys. Zay was watching or heard about this game called Multiverses, and in the game, there's a character that is Arya, based off of Arya from the show, and it is a fighting game. So Zay knows that Arya at least has some kind of capability to where they would put her in a fighting game.
I know she's in the game. I didn't watch gameplay, so I don't know anything about moves or anything.
He doesn't
that could
know
even
what
show
she
me
can do
abilities or whatever the hell could happen. I happened to see the game and I heard them say Arya, and I was like, oh, that's kind of crazy. I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, he doesn't know whether she lives or dies. He doesn't know what moves she possesses and what that means or what she can do. He just knows that she's capable enough to where they put her in a fighting game. But that's pretty much all he knows. Wanted to be transparent with you guys. But other than that, that's a quick little recap. Zay, are you ready to get into it?
Oh, I'm ready, Freddy. Spaghetti.
All right, here we
bear.
Yep.
Doctor Strange, is that you? Yeah, the episode auto starts from that. Yeah. Reforging the blade?
You recognize the song?
Like, yes, I recognize it, but like...
This is the Reigns of Castamere. This is what they played at the wedding.
Oh.
The Red Wedding. It's a basically Don't Fuck with the Lannisters song.
Okay. What the fuck are they building? What is this?
Magnificent. Looks fresh forged.
It is.
No one's made of Valyrian steel swords since the Doom of Valyria.
There are 3 living smiths who know how to rework Valyrian steel. The finest of them.
That blade is dope, though.
We've wanted one of these in the family for a long time.
And now we have 2.
2?
The original weapon was absurdly large. There's plenty of steel for 2 swords.
He was making 2 swords.
Right.
From one. The
I
title
saw
of the
that
episode is 2 swords.
2 sword. Yeah, I
Or
saw
2 sticks.
I saw it, but I'm like, is he making 2 swords? But is the
left hand.
And a decent swordsman knows how to...
Remember, Occam's razor, bro.
It is good.
Sometimes the simplest answer is the right one.
fucking 2 swords? Got fucking 2 swords, and I got half a brain. So fucking here.
You know what they call me? Kingslayer, Oathbreaker, man without honor. Now you want me to break another sacred vow.
You won't be breaking anything. There is a precedent to relieve a king's guard of his duties. The king will exercise that prerogative.
No.
I don't believe I asked you a question. There's my answer. You think your bloody honor comes before
My
your
bloody
family.
honor is beyond repair.
What do you want?
Supper would be nice.
For 40 years I've...
Gotta love that Lannister wit.
Yeah.
Go. If serving as a glorified bodyguard is the sum of your ambition, go serve.
I suppose you want the sword back.
Keep it. A man with no family needs all the help he can get.
Isn't that kind of crazy though? Like, your father becomes hand of the king. You lost your hand. That's like a kick in the balls every time you say. So what's your dad do? He's the hand of the king. They look down and like,
Oh my gosh.
anyways, like, supper was great.
Without saying anything, do you recognize him? From another show?
Oh, from another show? No.
Look at this one.
Is he from Mando?
How lovely is she?
Beautiful,
He's from another show.
but pale.
They like them pale in the capital. Shows they don't work the field.
But don't say what show he's from. When
Oh.
you do, remember. Pick your phone real quick.
Duh. I'm stupid. 2 times, guys. 2 times.
Why are you wasting a woman like this on a Dornishman? Bring him a shaved goat and a bottle of olive oil.
Oh, he's gonna get killed. You're an idiot. You're a fucking moron.
Can I tell you a secret? You're not the golden lion. You're just a pink little man who's far too slow on the draw. Your friend starts bleeding quite a lot, I'm afraid. So many veins in the wrist.
Okay, all right. You didn't have to say that.
Prince Oberyn, forgive the intrusion. We heard that might trouble.
Yeah. Poor fucking Tyrion's like, What the fuck? Shanks a man in the wrist and makes out with his woman?
What are you, his hired killer?
It started that way, aye. Now I'm a knight.
How did that come to pass?
Killed the right people, I suppose.
I fucking love him, bro. He's so fucking funny.
The last time I was in the capital was many years ago. Another wedding. My sister Elia and Rhaegar Targaryen, the last dragon.
You learned about that.
Mm-hmm.
My sister loved him. And beautiful, noble Rhaegar Targaryen left her for another woman. Right here, when your father's army took the city.
Wasn't actually.
They butchered those children.
Oh, I don't like where this is going.
My nephew and niece carved them up and wrapped them in Lannister cloaks.
You can get the bad blood.
But what I keep hearing is that Gregor Clegane the Mountain raped Elia and split her in half with his great sword. If the Mountain killed my sister, your father gave the order. Tell your father I'm here, and tell him the Lannisters are the only ones who pay their debts.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be spicy, to say the least. This is interesting now. Come on,
see
baby.
how big they are.
That wing was big. What the fuck? Oh, they're
Look
so.
at that boy. Ooh.
They're almost cute. Like, that's. So...
I mean, look, you said about
like
the size for a small child to ride. I think that looks pretty accurate to me.
Right?
I mean, they're fighting over.
Oh no! Tell me, Alpha. Alpha. Are you the Alpha? Yep. They seem like they were like backed up.
They're a little more testy.
That's like a bad dog. You better nip that in the bud.
Kind of like a teenager.
You know what I mean? We're like, back at them.
They could never be tamed.
I mean, they were at one point, though.
Look, I've lived with a blue and gold macaw, and I still do, and you just have to learn that if they bite you, they bite you. And you just take it like a man, and you move on, and they don't bite you anymore.
Can your macaw decapitate you? Because that thing could have just decapitated her.
With enough time, I'm sure.
Can your macaw breathe fire? Because that's the other.
Sure sounds like it.
Grace.
They recasted Dario.
I can see his arms beginning to shake.
Yeah, why?
Surprised at winning this stupid contest.
He was moving on to other things. I'm pretty sure that was when he got his role in Deadpool. He played the villain in Deadpool, the previous Dario, not this guy.
Yeah.
But this is the same character, just so you know.
Right, it's just recast.
The one who cut off the other two's heads and helped them sneak into the city and all that.
Man, I liked him too. I liked his look.
Yeah, he had a cool look, but
he had a really
this
cool
is
look.
I'm just making sure you know that's the same character.
Dude, it's still Dario. I just
You need to eat something. Pigeon pie.
No, thank you.
I mean, you can't blame her. Her father died. Now she found out her brother died.
Yeah.
All at the hands of the Lannisters, who she's married to one.
Right.
I can't let you starve.
Oh, she's pissed.
They cut her throat to the bone and threw her body in the river.
Now the direwolf thing is.
Yeah, her mother died too. I forgot to mention.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
we
no,
know
I saw
this,
that.
but I didn't bring it up when I was saying,
Yeah.
you know, her father and her brother died.
Your mother, on the other hand, I admired her.
Her nephew died too, but she didn't. I don't know if she knew about that.
She was a strong woman. And she was fierce when it came to protecting her children.
She was.
Yeah,
She'd do anything
absolutely.
to protect her children, for sure. The direwolf thing, though, was mad disrespectful to do to his body.
To carry on.
Yeah,
sewing the head.
True.
There's just something about the fact that the wolf couldn't go anywhere. That's what really fucks
It was just
with me, bro.
stuck in the
It was
cage.
stuck, and they all put crossbows in there. Ugh.
I was like,
Ugh.
no.
It's the only place I can go where people don't talk to me.
That's the other thing.
Out of
too,
all
bro.
the Starks, I think she's suffered the most.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue Arya has because
Arya's
what she's seen it.
both now, but it's the trauma is affecting them both differently. Arya's become more cold-blooded and willing to just fucking do whatever she needs to get done.
Sansa's just folding.
You want me to stay?
Everyone's in like such a sticky situation, it feels like. That's not good.
It just got a bit stickier.
Yeah.
Work of art.
I mean, damn.
The hook would be more practical.
Elegant, I think. Thank you for your
That
help.
probably made it a lot easier on the production crew. Just put his hand in this now. Like, I can't keep doing this fake arm shit.
This fake nub shit, dude. Please.
You don't really plan on staying in the King's Guard, do you?
Staying in the King's Guard means I live right here. And I will keep with you.
Not now.
I want. Not now. When? I've been back for weeks.
So we get an idea how much time has passed here.
Yeah.
You come back after all this time with no apologies in one hand and expect everything to be the same.
You think I wanted to be taken prisoner?
Don't know what you wanted. You weren't here. You left me.
Ugh. She's annoying.
I murdered people so I could be here with you.
It took too long.
Imagine.
Forgive me, Your Grace. You told me to come at once if there was anything important.
Imagine that, though. I mined this diamond for you for your wedding ring. You took too long. First off, like, what?
Fuck out of here.
He wanted me to kill him. The Half-Hound believed our only chance to stop Mance was to get a man inside his army.
He was my brother.
And you'd know he'd do anything to defend the wall. The Free Folk would have boiled him alive, but letting me kill him...
The Free Folk? Listen to him. He even talks like a wildling now.
Nah, I talk like a... I ate with the wildlings. I climbed the wall with the wildlings. I lay with a wildling girl.
Oh, he said it. I think you're gonna say it.
Your vows, then.
I do.
Oh.
The boy must die.
If we beheaded every ranger who lay with a girl, the wall would be manned by headless men.
Nice.
Have you ever been beyond the wall, sir?
I commanded the city watch of King's Landing, boy.
And now you're here. You must not have been very good at your job. There's a band of wildlings south of the wall already. Led by Tom.
Talky talk.
The orders are to attack Castle Black from the south when Mance hits it from the north. Signal for the attack will be a bonfire. Mance said it would be the greatest fire the north has ever seen. All the truth.
Sheesh.
Sheesh.
He told the truth.
You always know when a man is telling a lie. How did you acquire this magical power?
I grew up in King's Landing.
Well, that's one way to have a sign.
There's one on every mile marker between here and Marine.
How many miles are there between here and Marine?
163, Your Grace.
I will see each and every one of their faces. Remove her collar before you bury her.
Bro,
He doesn't like that.
No, bro. Like, you're getting her bad grace.
You've got an aunt in the Vale, a rich Aunt Lysa. After I sell you to her, maybe she'll have enough left over to buy you that pony you want so much.
That's where he's going.
Yeah. Yo, what an awkward situation. You're sitting there and just like two people.
She's a good girl. Shut your mouth and pour us more ale, and we may not take her with us when we're done with her.
Kill them all. Every single one. Especially him.
You're the Hound.
Yo, she was on go mode.
Yeah.
You should come with us. His kind. They've always got something hidden away somewhere. Gold, silver, more daughters. Always something if you know how to make them talk. Could do well for yourself. We certainly have been.
Dude, she wants to kill him so bad. She's just sitting there like just.
These are the king's colours. No one's standing in his way now, which means no one's standing in ours.
Fuck the king.
Arya's smirking.
Yeah, bro. Like,
I heard that Joffrey's dog had tucked tail and run from the Battle of the Blackwater. I didn't believe it, but here you are.
Here I am.
Yeah, bro. You're chesting the wrong one.
You're a talker. Listening to talkers makes me thirsty.
Bro, it's like the savagery. Like, to be like in it, it's a lot of power in being able to just do that to somebody. Like, he doesn't give a shit.
I mean, he doesn't give a shit.
But like, you know his reputation, so you're like nervous to say something to him. Like, yeah.
You don't seem to understand the situation.
I understand that if any more words come pouring out your cunt mouth, I'm gonna have to eat every fucking chicken in this room.
You're gonna die for some chickens.
Someone is.
The silence was heavy, bro. Like, that silence was crazy. Oh.
Damn.
Oh my god. Arya, come on now. We need to see that savagery one more time.
Well, I mean,
I know, but like, damn, like.
Oh.
Jesus.
Oh.
I would have been like, kill me. Just stab me in the neck after that. Decapitate me.
All right.
That's almost more savage than how he's killing him.
It was cold.
Slow,
yeah.
bro. Yeah, take needle. Yeah.
Look at her.
Can you walk? I've got to carry you.
Carry me.
Oh, I see what she's doing.
Find a little blade.
You're not putting it together, buddy?
Maybe I'll pick my teeth with it.
That was so satisfying. That was so satisfying to see her get that revenge like that.
He's a little sociopath.
No, she's a psychopath. she's insane. But that was the most savage shit, bro.
But her insanity is heading in the right direction, at least. You get what I'm saying?
Nah, son. Her quoting him, and then finally saying, "Maybe I'll pick my teeth with it," and he was like, Dude, that's the most helpless feeling. Like, oh, that's you. I'm so sorry. I hope they decapitated the homie that got his nuts stabbed because I wouldn't want to be alive from that. That's the end of the episode? Wow. That felt
All
like...
right.
Wow, okay.
Game of Thrones Season 4 premiere, Episode 1, Two Swords. That was our reaction. If you guys like what you're watching, leave a like down below. It'd be greatly appreciated. And you could also subscribe to stay tuned for more if you're not already, and help us reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year goal. If you want to watch our full-length reaction to this, as well as the next 4 episodes, that's right, 4 episodes, you can check that out over on Patreon. Other than that, Zay, what are your initial thoughts of the premiere?
That was really dope. It was weird. It almost like I felt like the episode sort of kept going. That was a dope spot for them to really end it on. A lot of satisfying things, but there's a lot of turmoil going on amongst the Lannisters, man. A lot of like, a lot of it's pulling away from Joffrey more, though. It seems like not really like Jaime's kind of the first Lannister to kind of step up to Tywin, like basically say like no. Like Tyrion was basically like, I don't want to, and Tywin's like, you're marrying her. He's like, and then Cersei was kind of the same way.
I think that Tywin is more lenient on Jaime. So I don't know.
But he told him like, you're going to Casterly Rock, and Jaime was like, no. He's like, I didn't ask you a question, and Jaime said, I'm not going. But then he kind of disowned him. So I guess maybe, but like Cersei said, it's all he really has is Jaime.
We got to see Tywin reforge big Valyrian sword into 2 smaller Valyrian swords. I don't think that this is a spoiler. I'm sorry if it is. Just correct me down in the comments. But that was Rob's Valyrian sword.
Right.
And,
that made sense when he said he got it from someone that didn't need it. And I remember because Rob's sword was, I think I said it once or twice. I was like, damn, that's a big sword. Like his was like clearly big. Like,
yes,
very large.
That was Rob's sword. And he forged it into 2 Valyrian swords, and now he gave one to Jaime. Mm-hmm. So Jaime has a Valyrian sword now. What does that mean? We'll have to see if that gets used. I mean, he's not really in the best shape for fighting, so maybe...
I assume he's going to be doing training for his left hand because, he doesn't...
Possibly.
Really,
we got to see the arrival of Oberyn Martell here at King's Landing. We got a little bit of backstory on his thoughts on some things. We got to see kind of why there's some bad blood between the Martells and the Lannisters. What's your thoughts on that whole situation?
He's plotting something. Now, initial thought of what I was thinking is because his sister was married to Rhaegar, right? And his sister got snaped by the Mountain and then killed. So initially my first thought is, okay, is he going to come and try to kill Marjorie? Are they going to try to like get vengeance or like, I don't know. Cause he made a statement basically like, cause
Marjorie, the queen?
Well, cause it would be killing the queen.
Upcoming queen.
Yeah. It'd be killing the queen. But then I was like, but it makes more sense for him to kill a Lannister than it would to, cause his beef.
Well, his wife, Rhaegar wasn't the king. And Rhaegar's wife wasn't the queen. Rhaegar was Rhaegar was the son of the Mad King and Dany's brother.
Oh, duh. Okay.
So it was just someone married into the royal family.
They seem like they're not there for anything good at all. Like, pretty made it kind of clear in the brothel when he stabbed it. Like he pretty much came up to them because they were singing the Reigns of Castamere and started that engagement. And he didn't he didn't try to play it down or anything. He wanted that guy. He even said, you're slow on the draw. And he wanted to instigate that. And he made a point in front of Tyrion. I'm kind of nervous for Tyrion because he's got to try to do damage control, really.
Well, let me ask you about this. We know that the Martells are from Dorne, and we know that, what's her name? Marcella is in Dorne. So, and Marcella is Cersei's daughter. So what do you think is happening with that? I'm pretty sure they mentioned the Martells were in Dorne. I'm sorry if they didn't.
They did. They did. Because Dornish, they called him Dornish Met or whatever. Because he was talking to Tyrion. He said, Tyrion said the brothel takes the brothel doesn't like judge or whatever. They take anybody. He's like, even Dornish men. If they know that Cersei's daughter, Marcella, if they know Marcella is Marcella, then they could, oh man, I can only imagine what like you sent her to a place of people that don't like your family for obvious reasons. I mean, I would be interested to see a conversation between Oberyn and Cersei, because that would be interesting to see him. Like, what if he tells her like about some gruesome shit that went down? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh wait, Marcella, that's your daughter, right? Your daughter went to Dorne. Ah, he's like, I think I had, like, you know what I'm saying? You know how people be doing that?
Yeah,
Where
like some
they'll set
threatening
him
kind
up.
of situation.
They'll be like, oh, I think I recall that one. Be like, yeah, I remember what ended up happening with her. And it's like just to dig underneath, because you can't do anything. They're all the way in Dorne.
Right.
Regardless, I feel like Oberyn is there to cause a lot of problems and maybe disrupt King's Landing as much as he can. What's his end goal with it? I'm not quite sure. I don't really know the strength of them, like, you know, all their people that they have. I don't know what their military and stuff is like. It's not as transparently like given as some of the other militaries we had. Like with Stannis's military, we kind of had an idea and stuff. So maybe, I don't know. I mean, we're gonna see, I guess.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out. We got to see Dany and her dragons, which have gotten much bigger. There's a clear relationship forming between the dragons themselves with an alpha, and there's also a clear relationship forming, at least with the alpha and Daenerys.
Dany.
Or
However,
Dany, yeah, so
the alpha is also a little testy, as he roared in her face. Jorah came over and said, like, they're dragons, they can't be tamed. I disagree. I think they can be tamed. It's just, I think that, you know, it's still an animal, right? Like, it's a wild, like, they were puppies before. They're hunting their own food now. You were feeding them and stuff, but it's like, you know, I mean, you're dancing a fine line with these creatures that
even if they, but like, here's the thing, even if they were children, it doesn't matter. There's a certain age that everything gets
goes
to,
through
that adolescent stage where they're gonna be, their hormones are running, you know, and it definitely seems
and
like
they're growing
getting bigger, they're getting testy. So, you know, who knows how that's going to play out. What are your thoughts on that situation? What do you think might occur with that, or do you think it's not really going to go anywhere?
I don't think, I would be curious. It would be interesting to see. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw maybe the alpha test her again, but it'd be interesting to see the alpha try to test her and her put her foot down like a mom, like, kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, kind of put it in its place where it's like, it takes a step back, like, okay. Because mind you, when it did get in her face, she backed up. She was like, but she wasn't expecting it. So
No.
it's a fair reaction. However, you know, you can only do that to a parent for so long. You can only act up for so long before your parents like, all right. And you're like, yeah, okay.
We'll have to see. She also is heading towards Marine, and she came across the first mile marker of a little girl dead, hung up on a cross, who clearly seemed to have been a slave because she had a collar. And we know Dany doesn't like slaves. Dany doesn't like that kind of
innocent people getting harmed, basically.
Or the brutalization, I guess you could say, of certain things. You know, she wasn't very fond of having the Unsullied kill babies and whatnot. So it's like, she sees this, she's not happy, and she finds out there's 163 more miles to go.
And she said because they offered to bury them ahead of time, she said, I want to see all their faces. So that's 163 miles of her getting amped up and getting frustrated and pissed off. And you know, you're gonna, I wouldn't be surprised if the negotiations were kind of like with the Yunkai negotiations, where she's basically like this is what's happening. Like, it's not a negotiation. Like, this is what's going on. You're gonna free them. This is gonna happen. Da da da. Or you can die. And like, you know, she's definitely adapting a more aggressive and you know, like kind of militant attitude, where she's like, it's just she seems ready to do what needs to be necessary, and eyes are still on her to get the Iron Throne. Like, that's her end goal, is still to go, you know, and reclaim the throne. She believes that's hers. So I hope we get to see her arrive in Marine in next episode, but I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't get to see something like that till episode 3. So we'll keep our eyes for it.
We'll have to see. Sansa is dealing with the tragedy that she is aware of. Tyrion is kind of trying to juggle a lot of stress right
Yeah.
now. Shay's kind of like, I don't care, let's get it on. What do you think is happening with those three? We know that that lady heard Tyrion talking to Shay and is now talking to Cersei. So, what do you think that's about? What do you think is going to happen? The last time we saw Cersei think she had uh, Tyrion's horror, you could say it didn't seem like it was going to go well for Tyrion, but now she might know, she might not. What do you think is going to happen there?
This series is chess, man. That's a 1-up for Cersei on him now. A huge 1-up. Now she knows, even if she doesn't per se take Shay and like show Tyrion that she has her, but mentions like that she knows who Shay is, you know what I'm saying? Without like getting to, just to like let him know, like, I know who Shay is. Like, I finally got it. I figured it out. That's a 1-up because now is he gonna do whatever he can to protect her? Or is she really just a whore to him, as she says, where he really like he wouldn't give a shit, if she got hurt. And he's juggling that stress of Shay getting upset with him, Sansa being upset with him, now Oberyn causing issues in the brothel and seeming that he wants some sort of vengeance taken out on the Lannisters. Now, if he finds out Cersei knows who Shay, dude, he's like, his mind's got to be like, how do you even 4 different issues like across the board,
We
one
have
involving a very intimate lover. So
we have the wildlings south of the wall, Ygritte and Tormund, and they've come across the Thenns, who apparently are cannibals. And I'm not sure. What do you think is going to happen between those two groups? The Northmen at the wall said that you can't unite even 50 wildlings without them fighting each other. And they said, well, under the king, they were united. So do you think that they'll stick together for the purpose that the king beyond the wall wants? Or do you think that they might not be able to get along? What do you think is going to happen there?
I think that they'll unite. I mean, remember too when John had told Ygritte about the 3 or 4 other failed attempts that they tried of taking over the wall and everything. So a lot of them are in the dark, I assume. You could make an assumption from that because she didn't know it on that history. So it's like, to them, it's like, this is our conquest, this is our first attempt. Like, you know what I'm saying? They might not know the history of the failed attempts and stuff, which not knowing that kind of makes you oblivious to the fact and would allow you to kind of go in more blindly, like with like oomph, like, yeah, like we got this, whatever. That being said, the wall is also far much more deteriorated at this point with men. There's not nearly as many men as probably the first attempt, let alone naturally they've been declining with men.
Well, that leads us right into our next segment. We have John telling the people at the Night's Watch, look, they've got 100,000 men coming at us, and he's trying to warn them. He's like, who cares if I broke the oath? We need everybody that we can get. What are your thoughts on that situation? Do you think that they're going to eventually listen to John, or do you think they're just going to not take him seriously enough?
I think they're going to listen to John. Here, I think that they're going to. They don't have a choice. I feel like, to not listen to John, because it's like you have two very big battles or like wars that could possibly be fought at this wall. You still got White Walkers on their way, and now you have to worry about the wildlings that really don't like anybody south of the wall. So I think that they're going to kind of cave because they're going to realize that the risk is too high for them to gamble and be like, we don't have, like, this isn't going to happen. Because what happens if you get caught with your pants down and they do arrive at the wall and you can't get, you know what I'm saying? You can't get all these people together that you need to. And they're coming from north and south. It's like they're coming from two different directions. So it's like, okay, now you're getting pinched. So you need to this needs to be if I'm them, you need to start reaching out to try to get more men probably to defend the wall, if anything.
We'll have to see what happens. Lastly, we have the Hound and Arya arriving at this little location, this little tavern, yeah. And she wants to get her sword back, her little needle, and they get into an all-out brawl, and we get to see a really, really cold, vengeful side of Arya. And we also got to see Hound kick some ass. So what are your thoughts about that? And what do you think is going to happen in those regards going forward?
I loved, well, we also saw she got her own horse now too. So he basically, to me that says that the Hound is kind of like maybe trusting her more as like a partner now. Like, okay, like, you know what? Because at first he's worried that she's just going to run off, but like she got his back really back there. She helped him out, like, and she helped take out those guys. She was sitting there for most of it, waiting, kind of in shock, like, holy shit, this is happening. But those guys, like, I mean,
I don't know if she was in shock as much as she was like,
well, she was more, she was standing like this. She was sitting like this, like just watching,
yeah,
like,
watching.
you know, whatever you want to call it, shock, or just like kind of like, you know, deer in the headlights. Like, how would I even get into this brawl? How would I fight some, like, cause she didn't have a weapon on her. I also loved the opposite. There's like very polar opposites, you know, from the first time when she killed the boy, it was like, he was coming at her and she like stabbed him, but like was like a reflex, like, holy shit, like, get away from me, to now her actually walking up and taunting a man for the death that occurred at his hands in front of her, taunted him, and then executed in the same exact way he executed Lumi. She is becoming a stone cold savage, and I'm here for it. I'm with it. I like it. I think it's dope. I'm really excited to see, you know, I like watching them together, and I want to see more action occur with them and see if like that father-daughter relationship that I mentioned, I think in the last time we watched, might occur. Maybe not as extreme as a father-daughter, but maybe more like a mentor-mentee, something. I don't know. I mean, the Hound's a notable killer. And, you know, so Arya's gotten a couple under her belt now. You know,
we'll have to see. But I will say, out of all the season premieres that we've seen so far, I think this one does a really good job. Might be the best at setting the stage. You know, we've got a lot of stage setting going on in this episode.
And cool introduction of Oberyn. I mean, you know,
yeah.
So
we'll have to see what happens going forward. With that being said, again, leave a like down below if you liked what you're watching. Subscribe to stay tuned for more. It would be greatly appreciated. You can check out our Patreon to watch the next full-length reaction to this and the next 4 episodes if you're interested. And Zay, I know you have a Twitch.
I indeed do. If you'd like to come on over to the Twitch, it will be linked down in the description below. I stream Sunday through Friday. Tuesdays and Fridays are typically going to be with Cam and possibly a couple of our other friends on Friday. But yeah, Cam and I are doing playthroughs and all that type of stuff. And then I'm usually streaming Rocket League during the other days. Might switch up. I've been trying to get more games out there to play. But with that being said, come in, tune in, have fun, hop in the chat. No spoilers, please. And Cam, I know you also have a Twitch.
Yep, just your average Cam. I'm not sure where I'll be at. Probably still playing Elden Ring by the time you guys watch this. So the link in the description. You could check it out if you're interested. With that being said, we won't keep you guys waiting any longer. We will see you guys on the next one. And peace.